Hey, Patty! Can you believe it's time for another Midweek Update? Welcome back, everyone!
Hi.
I cannot believe another week has flown by.
I know.
I don't know where they're going to.
I don't know.
I was thinking about this. I was like, we're literally getting ready to end August.
Right?
I mean, it'll be September next week.
Yes, it will.
It's like, it's just hard
Another
to believe.
month gone.
Yeah. This is going to be one of these episodes where the sun is literally moving across us right now. So the lighting is going to be we so I'll just apologize. So anyway, hopefully everybody had a wonderful weekend last weekend.
Ours wasn't too exciting, just regular stuff.
No, we really don't have a whole lot to report this week. I don't know that we mentioned this last week, but they came and put the railing up on the deck.
And it looks fantastic.
It does look fantastic. I'm really happy with how it came out.
Makes the wood on the front of the house pop.
I think the metal black
is a good accent color.
Because before it was all wood, so it just all blended together, and it does seem to make those logs pop.
Well, and I don't think it's a bigger deck, but in my mind, I think you can see through more.
It feels like it. Yeah, it's definitely not bigger, but
it feels bigger.
Yeah. It's just weird how things like that can,
Well, and that nice space now for your grill and all your goodies out there for cooking.
Yep, got the Blackstone right beside of the gas grill now, so yeah, it's kind of nice. So,
and we even added. You found on Amazon, a really cool little what do you call that? A meshy gate.
Yeah, it's like a mesh fabric, and it retracts, and that way there at the opening, what we can do is we can just pull that, and that way Truman and Bess, we can let them out on the porch. And
they like to run.
Before we were using their metal fencing, and you have to get it out and kind of janky.
Yeah, this is easy.
Yeah, this looks great, and I think that I want to say it was less than $50. So yeah, that's actually a nice addition out there. So, and we even set up the chairs a little bit differently. So, not that we're able to enjoy it right now. As we're recording, we're under a heat advisory.
So hot.
Yeah, it's beastly with the humidity. So.
It's hot when the elementary cancels recess. Those little guys can't go outside. I just heard it over the intercom. I'm like, oh, I bet they're crying because they want to be outside. So.
I told Truman and Bess when we went out today for a break, I said,
that's Sissy.
That's the marshmallow. I said it reminded me of this summer, a few of the locations we were at.
The heat. Yeah, it's crazy.
So did you catch our episode 3, I guess it was, that premiered on Sunday?
Can you focus with her doing that?
No, it's really actually hard to focus. And I can't imagine what it sounds like on the other end. But it was the episode where we went beach camping.
Right.
So
lots of fun.
That was a lot of fun. It's weird editing right now because I am literally editing from almost 8 weeks ago. And so it's just like, I'm like, oh, I forgot about that,
Which is kind of cool because you relive
Yeah.
what the adventure was.
Because I was working on episode 6 today. 4 and 5 are actually loaded, ready to go. And I was working on 6 today, which was when we were in St. Augustine. And there was a part on the video where I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. And so So anyway. So Alex, our nephew, as many of you know, we went out to eat Sunday night because him and Darren headed to New York City Monday.
Yep.
So Alex is, I guess he's an adult now. I guess he's been an adult for a while, but he now is the leaseor of a studio in Manhattan.
Right.
And works for a fancy bank. And so they were moving him into his apartment or studio this week.
And I know they delayed it a day because of the hurricane.
The hurricane caused him to delay by a day. So
so Darren got him moved in. He's been working virtually, and he actually goes into the bank. Tomorrow. So,
Vinny actually wanted to know when we were going to be coming to visit Alex, and I told him I'm still traumatized from pulling the RV over the George Washington Bridge. I don't care if I ever get. I mean, maybe someday we'll go visiting. So I don't know, but Vinny's been helping though. He told me some places we could camp.
You know what we need is we need to be somewhere outside of New York City in a nice plushy campground. Have Vinny come get us in a bus. And
take us into town. Yeah, that would work. If Vinny will escort us into town,
maybe that would. Uber.
Yeah, our Uber. So.
Can you bring Mini Vinny too?
Mini Vinny and some cheese. Yeah. So, anyway. All right. So that's about it. Honestly, we're getting ready for, by the time you're watching this, my aunt and uncle from Texas will be here.
Yep.
And they're going to be with us for 4 nights. And this weekend, we're doing a little get together on Saturday. I'm going to do one of our fall boils, which I think we've shown on video before. I know way back in the beginning of the channel, when we had our very first camp out, we did a couple of those big boils. Basically, what we do is we take a big turkey fryer, and in the bottom we put corn husk, and then I get these bags that they put like roast in. They're like a meat bag. And we just fill them with things like sweet corn. We'll do a bag of sweet corn, a bag of carrots, a bag of potatoes, cabbage, onion, and then sausage. And then we put water. We get that boiling and set those bags in there. Just let that real simmer and just kind of it all gets happy together.
It's just slow cooking. It's good stuff. And
then when it's all done, you pull the bags out. We just snip them, and I usually just have disposable pans. We pour it all in, and it's like a little buffet. And so we're going to do that Saturday
with some
night.
bread, and you're good to go.
Yep. So that's our upcoming weekend, and then finally we will get back out in the camper Labor Day weekend. So I'm missing the trailer.
Yes.
So
is the puppies. When you take them out to potty, they walk right to the trailer. Like, we're going. But we're excited. We've got some trips coming up. We've got Labor Day, the weekend after Labor Day. We're going to be, although that's primarily to go to a wedding. So the RV is more of it's almost like our version of a hotel room. And then we have a couple trips in October planned, and I just booked Christmas. So we have a place to stay at Christmas. And so we're excited about that. And and then we'll go from there. I think I did this last week where I'm already planning out the next summer. It's kind of like on vacation when we've traveled with family, more specifically, we plan out our meals. When we get one meal done, we're always thinking about the next meal.
You're always thinking ahead. In fact, I was talking with Vinny. We were texting, and he's all in favor of a Booth Bay camp out next summer. So I don't know. So there's one vote. There's one vote for a Booth Bay, Maine camp out next summer. So
like Booth Bay.
If we go east. So if we go west, then there won't be a Booth Bay. But that's I know. Somebody twist my arm. All right. I said last week there were a couple questions that came in after. And I hope I found all of them. I went back today and tried to find them. So the first one, and I'm reading them, I wrote them down because I knew I wouldn't remember them. I can barely remember what
you did earlier, right?
Yeah. I went today, before we get to those, I had to renew my driver's license. And, it hit me. I said to her, now, how long is this driver's license good for? And she said, oh, you don't have to come back for 6 years. And I got thinking, I'll be 59 the next time I need a driver's license.
You don't think about that stuff.
I will say, I was very impressed with the Indiana Bureau of Motor Vehicles.
They know what to do.
I got there about 5 minutes before they opened. I was 5th in line. They had 5 windows open, so I got to go straight up. Gave her all my documents. This was the year that I had to do what they call the real ID, so I had to prove that I'm a citizen and I live in Indiana.
You were born in the
so I took tons of documentation. She's like, oh yeah, you got more than you need. I passed my little eye exam. She said, you can smile, you just can't show teeth. I'm like, is that even possible for the photo?
You go like this, I'm smiling.
It's like you look like the Joker or something. So, and I saw the photo. They give you like a little temporary.
Like a criminal.
So my new driver's license will be coming. So anyway, but I do give kudos to the Angola branch of the BMV. They know what
to do.
Yeah, because I've been in there before where it's a
mess.
It's a cluster. And this time I was very impressed. So, and whoever helped me, I'm sure you don't even watch, but if you did, I'm saying thank you. You did a good job. So anyway, let's get to the questions. So RV Adventures asked the question, can you share an expense summary of your 8-week trip? And actually, we can do a little bit. So here's what I did this summer. I only kept track of lodging and fuel, mainly because I wasn't going to keep track of food because we have to eat. No matter what, whether we stay home or whether we're on the road. So here's what we ended up with. And I don't know whether I'm shocked, depressed, or surprised. I don't even know what the feeling is with this. But so let's start with fuel. We ended up doing a little over 9,000 miles this summer, and we spent $2,629.98 on fuel. So I can tell you, I didn't keep track of every tank as far as mileage, that type of thing, but I can tell you in general, we averaged about 10.5 miles a gallon.
Okay.
You know, there were some tanks where we were up over 11, and there were some tanks where we were down in the 9s, like 9.5. So, but $2,600, $29, $2,629 for fuel, and that was over the course of 8 weeks and a little over 9,000 miles, like 9,200 some miles, I believe. Okay, so that was kind of, I knew fuel was going to be the big expense, or I thought it was.
Right. Well, plus because the gas started going over $3 a gallon.
Right. And this is definitely, this summer was by far the most expensive trip total we've ever taken. Well, I shouldn't say ever take, well, yeah, probably it is. But over the course that we've been doing Travels with Delaney, but it was also the most miles, because I think the prior record for miles was a little over 7,000. So we did an additional 2,000 more.
Well, when you go out west, there's more BLM land.
Which keeps your camping costs down. And because it was cooler, we could do more boondocking out west.
Right.
The other thing was, in prior summers, gas prices were lower, like you mentioned.
Yep.
So, all right, let's get into the actual lodging or camping.
All right.
So we were gone. We stayed out 57 nights this summer.
Holy moly!
57 consecutive nights. We spent 13 nights mooch docking.
Yep.
Okay. So that's like when we stayed with my aunt and uncle, my cousin. We stayed with Todd and Carla Rose. And so that was that. We did 2 nights at Cracker Barrel.
That was at the beginning.
That was right at the beginning.
Yep.
And then we did 5 nights at Harvest Host.
Okay. Yep.
I think maybe that 13 also included the beach camping. I think I threw that into mooch docking. We mooched off of Brazoria County, Texas, I guess. I think that's what it was. So really that was 10 nights mooch docking, 3 nights beach camping for free, 2 nights Cracker Barrel, 5 nights Harvest Host. So what is that? That's like 20 nights of the 57. That means we paid for 37 nights. All right. $2,632.18. But,
ouch.
Yeah, but I'll put a little asterisk. 6 of those nights was almost $900 when we stayed at Disney. Okay. So that does kind of play. So our average, if I just take that $2,632.18 and divide by the total 57 nights, we averaged $46.18. Which, we definitely spent more than I had planned on.
It was so hot.
And that's what it was. And
And puppies need air, so does mama.
And unfortunately on the East Coast, you just don't have the BLM land where you can get away from people and run the generator or have open skies to have solar. So, so anyway, great question, RV Adventures. I hope that helps you. I would say that if you look back on prior summers out west, those numbers were significantly lower. I want to say the last couple times we went out west, our average lodging cost was like $25 a night.
Well, yeah.
And I think our fuel was under 2,000 or around 2,000. So fewer miles. Okay. Mary from Getting an RV.
Which Blue Eddy did you use most this summer? I can answer that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Blue Red.
And why was that, Patty?
Well, one, it was 25 pounds.
21 pounds, I think.
21 pounds, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
We kept it in the trailer more. I could use it. I could carry it. You can hook your phones up to it. I used it for the fan. We used it for my little vacuum. It was easier to use. I love it. It was always something easy to use. If we needed more power, we used Little Red. Big one is nice, Big Blue.
We just didn't use Big Blue that much. We used Big Blue once or twice to run the whole trailer. But in terms of everyday use, and honestly, I think I mentioned this maybe before.
I think so.
We took Little Red, and I said to Patty when we left, I'm like, I don't even know why I'm taking this. You know, we've got the big 2,000 watt. What are we going to use this?
We can use it in the truck.
Yeah. We would put it in the truck so we could charge GoPro batteries, cell phones.
As we were driving,
Yeah. And I would say we used Little Red almost daily.
I think so.
I mean, it was
just part of the kitchen.
Yeah.
Right,
and the thing and you might say, well, if you're plugged in at a park, why would you use that? Well, remember, we have a 30 amp trailer. So when you start running your AC, you're sucking a lot of those amps right away.
And then if you're running your refrigerator,
You don't wanna overdo the
maybe
circuit.
your water heater. So what we were doing was I could then run things like the coffee maker or the hair dryer, leave everything else on because I was trying to save propane because you got to pay, if I'm
Right.
paying for electricity, I want to use as much electricity as possible.
Exactly.
So, and that's why. So we would, like in the mornings, I'd make my coffee with it a lot of times, and Patty would use her hairdryer. That way we weren't sitting there going, okay, you better shut the water heater off because I need to use the hairdryer.
And the only one thing that was shocking to me that it wouldn't run was our toaster.
Yeah, a toaster just
Pulls
took
too
too
much.
much.
Yep.
But we ran the Instant Pot
Yep,
with
we
it.
did. So a lot of things we could use and save with.
You ran the
propane.
Shark to sweep the
I
trailer.
know. I did.
So yes, Little Red, and for those of you
Love it.
going, what is Little Red?
Little.
That is the EB70 from Blue Eddy. Now I've had somebody said they couldn't find it on the Blue Eddy website, but you can find it on Amazon. Just look for the Blue Eddy EB70. I also think we have a link in our shop for it. But they're still available, and I think they're still $4.99. And that you get 716 watt hours with a 700 watt pure sine wave inverter built in. I love that little thing.
It's easy for me to use. I can carry it around. I can move it around. It's
Yeah.
easy.
And Big Blue, the big 2,000 watt one, is currently in the house.
Yeah.
We're using it as backup power for the house if power goes out.
Right.
So,
Perfect.
all right. Now, I already answered this online, but it was such a good question. I want to answer it here. Gary MI2, and I'm thinking maybe that's Michigan, but I don't know that for a fact, wanted to know, how do you measure the length of your trailer? And in his actual question, he had lots of different ways to
Right.
measure. And what I told him was, I always measure a trailer from the tongue, the very tip of the tongue where you hitch up, all the way to the back to the bumper. And the main reason I want to know that complete length is when I'm booking a campsite, I need a campsite that will at a minimum hold the length of our trailer. So in our case, we're 23 feet 3 inches from from tongue to tail. Okay. So I never want to site less than 24 feet. And honestly, I want to site a lot longer than that,
Right.
because I've got to have room for the truck and that type of
Exactly.
thing. So you will hear manufacturers sometimes say, oh, it's a 23-foot trailer. Maybe the box, the actual
Right.
unit, but then when you add that tongue on and
yep.
you add on that could be another 3 or 4 feet. And our friend Lisa and Ron, actually Lisa messaged me just recently about that because she was thinking her trailer was about 4 feet shorter.
Right.
And she said, now it explains why I was having issues getting into state
Nice.
parks.
Yes.
After she had booked them, because she was just going by what the manufacturer had said.
Right.
So,
Right.
all right, and then finally,
Deborah,
yes, our friend Deb and Rod.
do you ever use pet sitting services while traveling and maybe don't have electricity? No.
No, we never have.
And we had some hot days, and we used our fan. You set
Well, she
up-
means if you were going to leave the dogs.
Oh, I never leave them.
No. So if we don't have electricity, if we're not on hookups, we don't leave them.
No, I don't leave them alone.
I know there are, because she was asking, she says, she had referenced one, like there's services where you can go online, like
Right.
Uber,
Sure.
except it's for pet
Right.
sitting. We never have. I don't know. I don't,
I just can't leave them.
yeah.
And
With somebody else.
right, I just if we have electricity and we have our waggle set up and everything's good for them with air and sound and they're good in their kennel, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I can make sure they're fine. But if we don't have electricity, I just don't.
We just know
leave
they are
them.
going with us.
Yeah,
So,
they go with
not
you.
saying, and maybe some of you can comment below if you've ever
Yeah.
used a pet sitting service, like when you're traveling. Let us know. Maybe
I
that's
just feel really guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. All right. So thank you for those questions. Hopefully we didn't miss any, and if we did, you can let us know, and we'll get to them next week.
Right.
So everyone, have a wonderful weekend. Finish out the week strong, and we will see you back here next week.
Yep.
And until next time,
We'll see you on down the road. Bye.
you say goodbye, baby.
Did you give up your marshmallow?
She gave up on the marshmallow.